right away the play asked the audience to be a participant. So one of the things we approached early on was this idea of how to bridge that audience-actor relationship. In particular with this play, the seating arrangement will be different. People will not be seated in the actual Spanos Theater seats. We're actually creating a stage on the stage experience for them, to where they'll be sitting on crates, padded crates, that some will be movable and some will be static, but just this idea of right away the experience is different when they come in versus something that they would expect any other time that they would walk into the theater. Gao was really interested in the actor aesthetic. This play is also a training mechanism for actors, and one of the things I think it does really well is invite the actors to figure out varying ways in which we present material, in which we talk to actors. In this case, there are a couple instances where people actually directly address or look at audience members, or actually physically touch the audience members, or guide the audience members. So there's lots of ways in which the actors, whether in scene or out of scene, are in direct contact with them, either physically or verbally, in a non-threatening way. The space is a box. It is a large white playing space, and that's pretty important because one of the conceptual conceits that we talked about is this play as a Buddha board. A Buddha board is a device that has been marketed lately to where it's a piece of gray slate that has a brush that you dip in water, and you draw these black strokes on the board, and then when the water evaporates, the picture or whatever you've created on this board disappears. And that was really one of the central things that we were talking about with the design team, was this idea of a blank space where things could exist, where these stories or these episodes could find themselves acted out or drawn out, and then at the end they disappear. And I think that kind of cleanliness, that simplicity of this type of space or environment is really going to be reflective in what the audience will be able to see right away, their journey into the space, as well as what they encounter with what people are wearing in the space as well too. I'm not Buddhist, but I think it's pretty cool, the ideas of how we treat others, our own particular individual journeys. And I think to me that ends up being probably the most important thing, is that this, the play is about this other shore, this nirvana that is delivered to or spoken about for people who believe in this Buddhist faith. Whether you're Buddhist or not, what the other shore is something that's something I think all people aspire to, another side, something different, something away from the life that I'm currently leading right now, that presumably is a life without pain, without suffering, or with a sense of enlightenment or full understanding of things. And I think the play takes that idea and wants us to re-examine not what the other shore is, but how maybe too much investment in the other shore takes us away from our current life and our current situation, and our impact to learn things here. Not everything on the other shore is probably what we will expect, and so as a result of that, what are we willing to do in adjustment of our own particular lives right now? They should expect, I think, a really different way of storytelling that probably most of them have not experienced. A new interpretation of theater that's not, say, a Western sense of theater, which is very cause and effect, and very much based in realism. That you're getting more of an experiential way in which things are told or demonstrated or composed. I think the expectation that we have coming in usually always is that I buy my ticket, I sit down, and the curtain goes up, and then I can sit there and watch and make the comments. That to me is where I'd like to see theater start to change, that relationship that we have with performance. Our role as audience members, as live audience members, is that we can help to shape the context of a play, the context of the storytelling. I think in this way, that might be a challenge for some people who aren't used to going to the theater and being asked to be a participant. Now, in this way, we're not asking them to come up on stage and act with us, but I think we're asking them to move with the play, to move with the story, versus the story simply moving and revolving around them. Come see The Other Shore.